Welcome students, welcome to our new section combustion chamber in gas turbine. In this video we will be explaining the different types of combustion chambers used in gas turbine. So before that, what do you mean by a gas turbine? Gas turbine, as we all know, it is nothing but it's a type of heat engine. You know that engine is nothing but a device which transforms one form of energy into another. Heat engine is a device which converts thermal energy into mechanical energy. So in short, we can say that gas turbine is a heat engine which converts thermal energy into mechanical energy. From where it gets its thermal energy? It gets its thermal energy from fuel. The chemical energy of fuel is converted into thermal energy by means of a process called combustion in a gas turbine. The chemical energy of the fuel is converted into heat energy by means of a process called combustion in a gas turbine. So the component of a gas turbine in which this chemical energy is obtained, that means the chemical energy of fuel is converted into thermal energy. That component we call it as combustion chamber. In short, we can say that combustion chamber is nothing but a component of a gas turbine where the process combustion takes place. The cycle which is used in a gas turbine is the Brayton cycle. And as we know, the gas turbines are of two types: open cycle gas turbine and closed cycle gas turbine. We will not find a combustion chamber in closed cycle gas turbine, because in closed cycle gas turbine we are using heating chambers instead of combustion chamber. This shows the schematic representation of a closed cycle gas turbine. So it consists of a compressor, heat exchanger, turbine and another heat exchanger. This heat exchanger is used for heating, so we call it as heating chamber, and this heat exchanger is used for cooling, so we call it as cooling chamber. So in closed cycle gas turbine we cannot see a combustion chamber. Rather, they are using heat exchangers. So now you need to understand that combustion chamber is found only in open cycle gas turbine. Now, as you all know, a simple open cycle gas turbine consists of compressor, combustion chamber and a turbine. Consists of a compressor, combustion chamber and a turbine. Among these, the compressor is a power absorbing devices and the turbine is a power producing devices. So some portion of the turbine work is utilized by the compressor. In a gas turbine plant, some portion of the turbine work is utilized by the compressor, which means that the efficiency of the gas turbine get reduced due to consumption of work by the compressor. So we will explain how we will rectify or how we are going to improve the efficiency of a gas turbine and all those things in the upcoming videos. In this video, we are concentrating only on the combustion chambers. Now, as you all know, combustion takes place in a component known as combustion chamber. The other name for combustion chamber, we can call it as a combustor, we can call it as a burner, or we can even call it as a flame holder. These are the different names of combustion chamber. As you all know, in a gas turbine plant, the hot high temperature, high pressure, that is the hot air from the compressor enters into the system. In the combustion chamber, the hot air which is coming from the compressor is heated at constant pressure to a very high temperature. After heating, the air is passed from the combustion chamber to the turbine. So the main aim of the combustion chamber in a gas turbine plant is to add energy to the system to power the turbine. That is, to add the thermal energy which is required to convert it into mechanical energy in the gas turbine. So this is the main objective of a combustion chamber. Before going into the type of combustion chamber, we will first understand a little bit idea regarding the combustion chamber or the requirement of the combustion chamber in a gas turbine plant. Combustion is nothing but, as you all know, the process of conversion of chemical energy of fuel into heat energy. And here energy is put into the system by burning fuel in a flowing gas, as you all know that. You all know one of the main application of open cycle gas turbine is in the aircraft engines. And please note that in an aircraft engine, the air velocity is very high. It is approximately 100 meters per second. This means that the time available for the combustion chamber to heat the air is very small. Moreover, the space available for the combustion process is limited in case of a combustion chamber. These two parameters makes or forces high combustion intensity in a gas turbine combustion chamber. That is, in a gas turbine combustion chamber, the combustion intensity is very high. High combustion intensity is nothing but the amount of heat required to be produced in 1 meter cube volume of the combustion chamber is very, very high. The amount of heat required to be produced in 1 meter cube volume of the combustion chamber is very, very high. So, we can conclude that combustion must be carried out within a very small volume at a short time, giving out high amount of heat. That is, in a gas turbine, the combustion in the combustion chamber must be carried out within a very small volume at a short time, giving out the high amount of heat. This means that the combustion intensity is very high in case of the combustion chamber of a gas turbine. Let me explain to you more precisely. Consider the boiler in case of a steam turbine plant. In 1 hour, 1 meter cube volume of the boiler is required to produce 4 into 10 raised to 5 kilojoule of heat. When it compare that value with jet engines, in 1 hour, 1 meter cube volume is required to produce a heat which is between 75 to 150 into 10 raised to 5 kilojoule. You can see the difference. So, combustion must be carried out in a combustion chamber in such a way that it must liberate high amount of heat in a very small volume at a very short time. And moreover, the outlet condition of the combustion chamber is governed by the turbine designing operating limits and is generally required to be uniform and stable. Let's say, as a result of combustion, the temperature produced inside the combustion chamber will be around 2500 degrees Celsius. But we cannot directly send this combustion product into the gas turbine due to the limitation of metallurgical temperature limits of the material which is used to manufacture the gas turbine. So, the high temperature combustion product which is produced in a gas turbine in a combustion chamber must be reduced to a low temperature, that means approximately 1100 degrees Celsius. Then only it can be sent to the gas turbine. So, and for efficient operation of gas turbine, it is required that the combustion chamber must produce a stable and uniform supply of hot air. So the outlet condition, these are some of the criterions which a designer or a thermal designer or a combustion designer must take into account while designing a combustion chamber. And one more thing, the condition of gas at the inlet of the combustion chamber, is determined by the operating condition of the compressor. As you all know, the air enters into the combustion chamber from the compressor. The compressor output will not be stable. It will vary according to the different altitudes. It will vary. So these are some of the constraints which a designer has to face while designing the combustion chamber of a gas turbine. Now, in simple, we can say that the combustion chamber is expected to be a stable source of hot gases. That is, a combustion chamber must produce a stable and uniform supply of hot gases to the at the required temperature, at the design temperature, to the gas turbine. These are some of the functions of the gas turbine which we were already discussed. The first function is to raise the temperature of air to the highest possible temperature. You know that. The combustion must be carried out with minimum loss of pressure. That is one of the important requirement of gas turbine, combustion chamber. It should occupy minimum space. You know that. It must deliver a uniform and steady state. I already explained that. It should burn a range of fuels. It's a common, all know that. Ignition should be rapid and sustainable. So these are some of the functions of gas turbine. Now we will explain what are the different types of combustion chambers. Now, the main three types of combustion chambers which are frequently used is the can type combustion chamber, the cannular type combustion chamber, and the annular type combustion chamber. Among the three, annular combustion chamber is most common. It is commonly used in military aircrafts, mediums loaded aircrafts, and all those things. This annular combustion chamber is commonly used. For heavy duty application, this cannular combustion chamber is widely used. Now we will start with can type combustion chamber. This is the schematic representation of a can type combustion chamber. You can see at inlet of this combustion chamber, the air from the compressor is coming. The air which is coming from the compressor is divided into two. One is called the secondary flow and this is called primary flow. Among 70% will go as secondary flow and the remaining 20% will flow as primary flow. Okay, this 20% primary flow will meet the fuel which is injected from the fuel injector. Okay, and once the igniter ignites the fuel, the combustion takes place, and this is known as slit. In that, small holes are present there. So the secondary air which is going through the outer surface must enter into the combustion zone through these small slots. So this air, we call it as intermediate air. This air will help the further combustion of the air fuel mixture. And some of these air enters into the combustion chamber tangentially. It will protect the liner, because by forming when it enters into the liner tangentially, it protects the liner. It protects when that, let's say it enters like tangentially, a thin layer of boundary layer will be forming on the surface of this liner. As a result, it get protected from further temperature rise. And after combustion, the product of combustion, that is the combustion gases, will propagate towards the turbine. As I told before, the temperature produced here is more, approximately 2500 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we cannot directly supply this air, this product of combustion, to the turbine. So this air, you can see this tertiary zone, this air will help to cool this combustion product, and it will help the combustion product to achieve the required temperature, and after attaining the required temperature, it must be supplied to the turbine. That is, here the temperature produced is 2500 degrees Celsius, and at the turbine inlet we need to supply air fuel mixture at a temperature of 1100 degrees Celsius. So that cooling is performed by this air, and that zone we call it as tertiary zone. So this is what happening in a can type combustion chamber. This shows some important components of the can type combustion chamber. You can see that some of the important components of the can type combustion chamber. You can see that diffuser. The main function of diffuser is to lower the speed of air which is coming from the compressor. And this is the casing, right? So the main function, the outermost shell of the combustion chamber is known as case. And you know the purpose of fuel injector, to inject the fuel, and you know the purpose of igniter, to ignite the fuel, and this snout and dome. So the main function of this snout is to separate the flow as secondary flow and primary flow. That is a function of snout. And this swirler and dome, these two function is to create turbulence in the primary heating zone, because as a result, if turbulence is produced, it will help in the proper mixing of air fuel mixture. It will help the combustion process. So the main function of dome and swirler is to produce turbulence in the primary zone. This shows a detailed view of the combustion which is happening in the can type combustion chamber. The primary air is the air which is coming from the compressor is converted into, or is divided into, the primary air and the secondary air. The primary air directly enters into the heating zone, that is the primary heating zone. Here some intermediate air is entering. It will help the combustion process to complete, and further cooling air is happening there. And some air will protect the liner by forming a film, and some air will help to reduce the temperature of the combustion product from 2500 degrees Celsius to 1100 degrees Celsius. So this is what happening inside the can of a can type combustion chamber. So we were discussing about can type combustion chamber, and so far we have discussed what is happening exactly inside a can of a combustion chamber. Now this is the figure for the can. You can see the can on the right. You can see small slits on the surface of the outer surface of the can. Through that slits the air enters, that is the air which is required for cooling. So can type combustion chamber is nothing but it's a self-contained cylindrical combustion chamber. It's a cylindrical combustion chamber, it's clear to you. And each, that is, I will explain first, that is around the circumference of the shaft a number of cans are arranged. That is known as a can type combustion chamber. Inside each can the combustion process which I explained earlier is carrying out. So can type combustion chamber are self-contained cylindrical combustion chamber. Each has its own fuel injector, igniter, liner and casing. The primary air from the compressor is guided into the individual can, where it is decelerated, mixed with the fuel and then ignited. I clearly explained this. The second air is then fed through the slits in the liner into the combustion zone. So this is the can type. Here the heading is cannular type. These two figure represents cannular type, but this figure is for can type. You can see that, let's say this is the shaft, and toward across the surface of the circumference of the shaft, a number of cans are installed. Okay, and in each can there is separate space for the secondary air. You can see that. Okay, separate space for the which allows the secondary air to flow into the outer surface of the can, and in each can the combustion process taking place in each can. So this is what happening in a can type combustion chamber. Okay, now we will discuss about cannular type combustion chamber. Like can type, cannular combustors have discrete combustion zone contained with separate liners with their own fuel injectors. Yes, you can see in the figure. It also has separate cans which is arranged around the circumference of the shaft. But from these two figures, it is clear the difference between can type and cannular type. That is, in cannular type, unlike the can type, all combustions shown shared a common annulus casing. Here, separate annular space are provided for each can. Here, a common annular space is provided for all the cans. This is the main difference between a cannular and a can type. In a cannular type, a common annular space is shared between all the cans, but in case of can type, separate annular space is provided. So, as a result, the exhaust flow from this combustion chamber has a uniform temperature. That is, in cannular type combustion chamber, the exit temperature has a uniform temperature profile which is highly required for the proper or the efficient operation of the gas turbine. This is the main difference between cannular type and a can type and a cannular type combustion chamber. In both combustion chambers, a number of cans are arranged around the circumference, but in can type, separate combustion space is provided. Separate annular space is provided for the flow of secondary air, but in case of cannular type, a common annular space is provided. The main advantage of cannular type is that it has a uniform temperature profile. You can see the difference. Separate annular space, a common annular space is provided for cannular type. Now, our last combustion chamber, annular combustion chamber. In this combustion chamber, there is no cans. The annular space, you know the annular space, the space between the outer surface of the shaft and the inner surface of the casing, right? Combustion chamber, the space between the outer surface of the shaft and the inner surface of the casing. So, in that annular space, a number of fuel injectors are placed, and once the air enters into the combustion chamber, the fuel injector injects the fuel and ignites the fuel. As a result, the combustion takes place. So it is a commonly used combustion chamber. Here no cans are placed around the circumference of the shaft. It's a commonly used combustion chamber, but it has some advantages over the other two types. Have a continuous liner and a casing in a ring. The most important advantage is it has uniform combustion. The pressure drop will be minimum when we compare with other two types, and the exit temperature must be uniform, and it requires lesser size and less surface area. These are some of the advantages of annular type. So annular type is the most commonly used combustion chamber in most of the military aircrafts as well as the medium duty application aircrafts, but for heavy duty we prefer cannular type. So this is the basic idea regarding the combustion chambers, and these three are the commonly used combustion chambers in gas turbine. So in the upcoming videos we will be discussing more about the gas turbine, and we will be doing more and more numericals regarding the gas turbine. Thank you for watching.